Good evening, everybody. Now, I'm just Simple Man, and my name is Noah Foster. And welcome to episode 2 of this series called 205 Life Matters. This week, we will be discussing not only the go home episode to the Mission Chamber, but also our outcomes and thoughts on the future direction of the 205 Live brand. With me tonight, for the first time ever, is a very special guest. She is Team Indie DQ leader and one of the three ladies of No DQ. She is simply Cindy G. Cindy, how are you?
I'm doing pretty well. Thank you for having me for the hashtag 205 Life Matters episode. I'm looking forward to it. Looking to talk about what's happening on the last episode of 205 Live, which is the go home episode before Eliminations Chambers.
Yes, and we all have mutual feelings about the pay-per-view in general, but also we have a unique stance on this match as well, versus some other people, I'm sure. But we'll get to that later. So with that, why don't I start by asking you this? What were your thoughts on this week's episode, 205 Live?
Um, I feel that this episode 205 Live is pretty by far amazing, even though the opening of the match was kind of like a warm up in the beginning, but up until the main event, that knocked it out of the park. I was glued into the TV the whole time. I stopped with my note taking. I was like, this is by far amazing. And yeah, that's all I can say so far about the episode 205 Live.
Yeah, when I usually watch 205 Live, especially since starting this series, I moreover first look at it as a fan of Cruiserweight Wrestling, from the brawling to the technical in-ring styling to the different mixes and matches of how each person carries themselves in the ring. And then I go through and look at it as an analytical standpoint, like, what can I take away from this match, from this superstar, from the storyline? Because believe it or not, folks, 205 Live, it does have storylines, despite what y'all may think. But with that, let's get started. So 205 Live, it started a little different this week. Instead of Drake Maverick giving us a recap, we had more of a video package recap, basically disclosing our build towards the main event tonight, the no disqualification match between Tony Nese and Noam Dar. So it'll basically start off by humble beginnings. Last month, Tony Nese, Noam Dar, they had a one-on-one encounter, but Noam Dar got the better of Tony Nese during that match. Then we go towards a backstage segment where Tony Nese interrupts Noam Dar's interview and says, "You got lucky that match. I controlled over 90% of that match. If you really want to prove you're better than me, face me again." Noam Dar, he seems humble to the idea, but then he just shrugs it off like, you know what? I like that. I'm looking for someone to elevate my performance. But here's the kicker. But you lost. From there, he just walks away. We get nothing for a while. Speed forward, we go to what happened 2 weeks ago, a parking lot brawl that ended up suspending Tony Nese indefinitely. But keep speeding forward. What we get last week, we get the returning Noam Dar, who says doctors cleared him, he's fine, he's got no injuries, but he didn't even say anything else except, I'm facing Tony Nese next week. Drake, he was a bit begrudged at first, but then when Noam Dar threatened to take this outside 205 Live to resolve this, to stand up for his manhood, Drake made the match official, and we had a no disqualification match tonight, which basically built into tonight's show. Cindy, what were your thoughts on this overall recap of this story being told of who's the better man?
Well, I feel this opening promo of the main event match was by far outstanding, especially how it gives how it starts with the whole feud with Noam and Tony. My favorite part actually would be the parking lot brawl, to say at least, because not only you got the majority of the producers and the stars of 205 Live, gentleman Jack Gallagher, Drew Gulak, and Buddy Murphy trying to break both apart. Shawn Michaels was there too, so I was like, "Whoa, Shawn Michaels in 205 Live!" Just because he works backstage, of course. So that's
He works with the NXT NXT UK brands. I think someone also pointed out to me there was a cameo by a recent new signing, Sanjay Dutt. So it makes me wonder: is he going to be more involved in the creative direction of 205 Live, or the three brands in general? Since 205 Live and NXT, they seem to work more interjectively with each other, but we can always talk
I
about
hope
it later.
so. I bet he's gonna do a great thing, especially for 205 Live brand, for all it matters. But yeah, so anyway, I'm excited for what they're going to lead up to the main event. It's perfect, good storytelling to tell for both guys. And yeah.
Yeah, I have no complaints. Again, WWE, one of the biggest strengths is video packaging. So going from there, we get into, of course, the opening theme. I will say this, at least this theme's easier to understand versus NXT UK. Mm-hmm. So we get into our opening match. It is basically one member of the Lucha House Party, Lince Dorado versus Jack Gallagher. They had a fun little segment before the match where they were introducing themselves, introducing the brand, basically getting the crowd energetic and hyped up. Cheap pop from my hometown, Toledo, Ohio. Thanks, guys. And basically we get, before we hear the lovely voice of Grand Metalik, oh well, we basically get a match between him and Jack Gallagher. This is a nice little back and forth affair, but there were basically another story being going on here, if you've been following the brand, folks. Running mate with Jack Gallagher, Drew Gulak, for a better 205 Live, one of my personal favorites. He's basically putting over the idea of how he can bring Humberto Carrillo to bigger and better things, just like he's been guiding Jack Gallagher under his tutelage. And they're basically putting this over. They're also putting this over of whether or not he fears Humberto Carrillo, fears in his high-flying athleticism, similar to the Lucha House Party, which, of course, Drew Gulak, he's beaten all three now with his submission specialty. But anyway, getting into the match, we had some nice near falls. There were some covers. There were some fun spots where you had a drop knees, abdominal stretch, because, you know, Jack Gallagher, he's a brawler. Grappler, more really to say. Apologies again, people, if I'm mispronouncing his name. Following spinning a little forward, we had some top rope cross bodies and high flying action from Lince Dorado. There was crucifix cover. We had a spinning heel kick into a cover. There was another high cross body. There was at least three of those, I believe. And he went for basically his form of a moonsault combination, 3 moonsaults, 2 from the middle rope, 1 from the top rope. Ended up regretting that. That got blocked. And then we get a nice powerbomb. Jack Gallagher showing off some of his power into another near fall and then straight into a half crab. Literally being aware of what's going on. Was not hesitant at all. Following that, we got a bit of a monkey flip. There was a super kick into a rebound headbutt. One of Jack Gallagher's specialties. Straight to the sternum. By the way, no one wins in a headbutt. I don't know why people do that. Especially in the British wrestling scene, it seems to me. Get a drop kick into the corner. The gentleman's drop kick. He misses that. We get a little bit of exchange. There's exchange of strikes lead to a vicious chop, but not before we get a beautiful handstand springboard. They call it a golden rewind into another near fall. But basically, to push forward, this match ends with basically what you think. I think Lince Dorado was going for maybe a Frankensteiner, but somehow Jack Gallagher, he rolled him through into a cover and got the win with Drew Gulak being absolutely ecstatic. Closing with the comment, point proven, Humberto Carrillo, this could be you. Cindy, what were your thoughts on this opening match and basically Drew Gulak's commentary?
Well, okay, so before I get into my thoughts, how was the crowd react to the Lucha's House Party's promo? Because I know you were there last night by the time of recording the video.
They were very proactive, it seems, Lucha House Party. Even before the Toledo pop, you heard people going Lucha, Lucha, Lucha throughout the entire theme and throughout most of this match. So despite the, I guess you could say the attendance, because, you know, people, they have their families, they have their kids, they have to prep for school and work and all that fun stuff. So that I can understand being a hindrance. The crowd that was there, they did seem pretty active, at least during that segment.
Okay, because, like, when I was watching it this morning, like, there was, like, kind of like a mixed crowd pop, and I heard someone screaming, "Stop it now," right before Grand Metalik was about to speak, but lo and behold, of course, Jack Gallagher and Drew Gulak came out. So I thought that was a really fun match, although there was a little bit of a botch spot from Lince Dorado when he was on that top rope. I don't know if you caught that, Noah, but, like, when he's about to, like, do his top rope signature move to Jack Gallagher, you know that he almost lost his balance.
Correct.
Yeah, so that's kind of like what I got the attention for that. So overall, match was amazing. Commentating wise, it was pretty by far entertaining, even though Drew did call Lince Dorado Lindsay Dorito.
Yes, and
Yes.
pointing out the fact that they wear a mask and that's a hindrance. Roberto
Oh,
Carrillo, he's a very handsome guy. He
mhm.
doesn't wear a mask. I could lead him to bigger and better
Oh
things.
God.
By the way, nice cameo, by the way, to Percy Watson. Little
Mhm.
shout out from Drew Gulak there. Whether or not he was being serious or sarcastic,
Mhm.
your guess is as good as mine.
Uh,
Part of the charm of Drew Gulak's character.
oh, totally. Yeah. So overall, it was a pretty good match. I was even a fan of the ending of the match, like where Jack Gallagher did the roll up to Lindsay Dorado, because from what I can tell, it's kind of like, it went that it doesn't meant to be happening, but you know
Yeah.
what? It all worked out because of Drew Gulak's grunting, yes, yes. I was
The
like, oh
celebration.
my god,
The celebration afterwards made that finish worthwhile. I completely agree. If Jack Gallagher was going to win that match, I would imagine it would have been with like the gentleman's drop kick or a follow-up headbutt after the roll through. I was expecting that to actually be a near fall, but as Big G says, it is what it is. I enjoyed the match,
Yeah.
and of course, Drew Gulak, always entertaining.
Me too. And especially there's like little to no interference from the Lucha House Party in general, even though Drew Gulak was in commentary, but I feel he was like a bit multitasking.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
no noisemakers, by the way, either. I don't know about you, but sometimes even those can be a bit unbearable.
Thank God. Like, I have to deal with a noisemaker when I was at Survivor Series and on Monday Night Raw after TLC.
Oh,
So,
geez.
yeah, it was bad.
I can only imagine.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So following this, we go into a backstage segment, kind of following up with this story, where we find Kayla Braxton outside the locker room. We don't know who, it just says locker room. But she basically first points out how, in preparation for tonight's main event, both men have been in separate locker rooms, thus keeping the action all contained within ringside area. But instead, one of them coming out for a proposed interview, it was Humberto Carrillo himself. Apologies again, people, if I'm butchering that name. Basically, they were asking him the question about, what are your thoughts on everything Drew Gulak has said and offered you? He humbly said he feels very fortunate to be on 205 Live, to be mentioned by him. He enjoys everything he does, though. He enjoys this high-paced, high-fast, I'm missing my words up, high-flying lucha style. But he says if Drew Gulak wants to train him, he at least needs to listen to him. So does this mean next week we're going to get a match by him? And is Drew Gulak going to be in his corner? Is Drew Gulak going to have a match? Is Humberto Carrillo going to watch from an awkward angle on some stupid TV? It's hard to say. Now, Cindy, what else did you thought or get out of this little interview segment?
I mean, it is a very strong word from Alberto Carrillo. I mean, he did say that he's in it for his family. I did catch it up with what he's saying in Spanish, so to translate for that, yeah. And so far, I feel that it may be leading up to like a storyline between him, Drew, and Jack for all it matters, to say at least, because Drew and Jack is trying to vouch to Drake Maverick, which we're gonna get into that later.
Absolutely.
Having Humberto Carrillo on their side and stuff like that. Even though on the last week's episode 205 Live, like Drake did not allow Drew and Jack to be by his corner during the 4-way eliminations match.
Correct. He didn't allow nobody at ringside.
Mm-hmm.
What a star match that was last week, but
Exactly.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the development of this storyline. I see breakdown one-on-one matches, maybe possible tag team format of this. There's many different ways this could go. But I feel Humberto Carrillo, Drew Gulak, Jack Gallagher, that should be an interesting trifecta, no matter how this outcome goes.
Agree.
So going from there, we got a interesting promo from Arya Daivari, who looked like he was part of a street gang, about to go beat somebody up. But I kind of like this. Basically, he was talking about how, here I am, just propping up failures. And this guy couldn't even articulate words. But now he's done with that, and he's going to just serve himself. He's been going at this for years, and all of his fights have been taken on alone. And the only thing he knows to collect is money or miles in this profession. But he says he's going to become Cruiserweight champ, and when he does, you would put respect on his checks. I thought this was an interesting promo from a number of standpoints. Not just the way he delivered this, not just his stance on what he plans to do, but also there was no words on the screen. It didn't seem like really a selfie promo to me. It felt different from the zoom in and outs on certain points of his words, the way he expressed himself. And also, at certain points, it was like grayscale for some odd reason. But I thought this was an interesting promo overall. What are your thoughts?
Well, I was like kind of amazed by the camera work and editing. I feel like I'm watching a movie, starring
Yeah.
just like a one-man actor movie. But overall, it is a pretty strong point for Ari Navari. I honestly feel he's going through a gimmick change at the moment because remember when he started out, he was kind of like this rich.
Yes, he was the eccentric one. I have more money than you. This jacket costs $25,000.
Yeah.
By the way, no, this does not cost $25,000. This
Mm-mm.
is $60.
Oh yeah. And now he's like going through a kind of like a rich badass type of guy. I think like to me, I feel like they're trying to build like some of the stars like into like a more of a badass character. Like for instance, like with Brian Kendrick,
Yes.
he came from like kind of like his badass pirate gimmick to reverted back to his old gimmick from when he started in WWE in the mid 2000s.
Yeah, shades of Spanky and his tag team time with Paul London.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I just feel that we're gonna see a lot from Aryan Davari, but we're not gonna sure who's gonna be his opponent for the feud.
Yeah, well, we can probably speculate on that.
Mm-hmm.
But first, we go from one promo to another. We go to Mike and Maria Kanellis and the constant downward spiral of Mike Kanellis, who said he's been going at this for 16 years to become an overnight sensation and make it to WWE. He did not come here to lose to Kalisto or the Brian Kendrick or to be seen as a joke. From there, it looked like he was about to freaking spasm. Then Maria, calm, cool, collective, calculating as always, she comes in with her own thing about, it's not about losses. Even in losing, we win. It's the process of the outcome. Because with every loss, they win. A loss is a step closer to success. She should be a motivational speaker at this point. But she's saying it's not a match that makes you, it's the match. And when the match happens, everyone will remember the name Mike Kanellis. The match. I keep forgetting about the match. This is a long-term story, in my opinion, all right? He's already got 2 losses in a row. I gotta imagine the match is now going to be next week. Maybe the match will be around WrestleMania time. Maybe he'll be the guy. I don't know. What are your thoughts on this, Cindy?
Well, when you say about motivational speaking, I feel that Maria's already been a motivational speaker, and so is Mike Kanellis too, because looking at both of their social media page, they do explain a lot, especially with Mike Kanellis' social media. You know, like he's talking about, you know, his sobriety through his addiction in the past and
Correct.
how he's doing a lot of more of a motivational speaking just to be like more of a role model aspect. And so is Maria Kanellis. I mean, I love Maria ever since her debut in WWE in the early 2000s, early to mid, I mean. But
Right.
I feel like, you know, with this, how they're going to build Mike Kanellis as an opportunist, but yet as the one that's keep fostering and Maria as a kind of like a de-stressor, is kind of like a very perfect match. So, with that being said, I have a theory of what's going to happen. We might see Mike Kanellis, but it's not going to be for the title match. But I could definitely see him like for the Andre the Giant's Memorial Battle Royal. If it's going to happen at Mania, because as of right now, we're not sure what's going to happen at Mania because all they focus on is Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar and also the whole situation with the Raw Women's Championship match. So,
Oh, jeez.
that matter. But we're not getting into that because we're talking about the Cruiserweight match.
Yeah. Folks, if you want a retrospective on that, let us know in the comments. Maybe we'll actually make that happen. But tonight, it's about 205 Live because hashtag 205 Live matters. Simple
That's
as that.
right.
All right,
Yeah.
so finally, after all that, we get the nice opening match. We get some nice promo segments. You get some pointless commercials, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
We finally get our main event. Noam Dar versus Tony Nese. No DQ. No DQ.
.com.
No disqualification match. Woofa! This was a bar burner from bell to bell.
Yup. That's why I have to take a long sip of this.
Yeah, let me see what I can do about this. Oh, jeez. Okay, so basically, we start out both men coming out of the ring. Noam Dar, he doesn't give Tony Nese even a moment on the apron to flex his muscles. He literally attacks him from behind, and we just go off and running from there. Some exchanges. There was an Irish whip into the steps. The steps, chairs, they came in play a ton in this match. So, yeah, no DQ. So there's your, external weaponry use right there, even the barricade. But anyway, speaking of the barricade, one of our first spots is Noam Dar sets up Tony Nese on the barricade, and then he sets up the steps, Pinky's up, for basically what I thought was a step-up clothesline, but apparently it's a Nigel McGuinness special called a crotch
lariat. I know, I laugh at that part.
I've never heard that before, so I like that. I'm going to remember that from now on. Anyway, following this, we get a brutal spot. Shades looks like fake what Randy Orton did at Ty Dillinger at one point. He drives Tony Nese's fingers from his left hand through what they call a turnbuckle. I guess you call it like the brace that holds the actual like steel ring underneath the turnbuckle. And literally is just wrenching on his fingers to the point they were changing color. Yeesh.
I think he did that to Rey Mysterio too.
Yeah. Talk about drug manipulation to a whole new degree. And then following this, Nese, he finally gets the advantage when he drives Noam Dar into the post, face first, and then shoulder first following that, and then into the barricade. Tony Nese, of course, showing his typical adrenaline, aggression, overall dominant control as he tries to put himself over as guy. Anyway, we finally get some weaponry into play. We get a chair into the midsection, but then we get some knees following that. Following that, let's see here. Nese drops Dar between middle rope and chair. That was interesting, by the way, in that spot. He literally drapes Noam Dar between the middle rope and steel chair after driving some knees to his midsection. He goes to the corner and just drops him what you think would be, I guess, a moonsault, but it feels like more his head landed on Noam Dar's back, at least from my standpoint.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, that led into a cover, and then following that, we get driving the chair to the chest. A lot of chair shots to the midsection because, no headshot, concussion purposes and all that. Following this, we get one of his signatures, that spinning back kick where he just kicks you out of nowhere, turns around, just kicks you in the midsection. But then Nese misses a crossbody, and we get a dragon screw rave lips, and now Tony Nese's leg is getting worked on. By the way, Vic Joseph, Botchamania. I think he was trying to call it like Dragon School.
Oh my god.
Vic, don't be Michael Cole.
I'm glad he caught that.
I'm just saying. By the way, Amy English now McGuinness, they did a great job. Anyway, moving on from there, we get the legs dropped out from Nese, and we get a suplex to the turnbuckle into another cover. Nope, not enough. Dar then uses just pulling out chairs like a madman. This is the point the arena was just screaming, table, table, table. And they finally got a table to just a big pop. But before the table could come back into play, Tony Nese regains control with another spinning back kick. And before he could capitalize, he gets backdropped into the chairs by Noam Dar. Another brutal spot. Puts him in the range to the cover. Nope. And then following that, we're still just like, I don't think even 10 minutes into this match. Good freaking Lord. This went by for 20 minutes, I think. Following that, we just get Noam Dar working on Tony Nese's leg because, submission specialist. He's got that knee bar. So he drives his knees into the chair like 4 times and then goes for a single leg crab. And then following this, he adds a little more pain to the submission by going after the pinky, just wrenching back on the pinky. Good thing your pinkies work, Cindy.
It makes me want to.
Yeah. But Tony Nese, he eventually gets out of it and then follows up with pump handle driver on a chair. Again, chairs come into play. I should have had a bell every time a chair came into play. Into another near fall, still not enough. And then we just get vicious exchange of forearms. I think there was like 6 or 7. And then Tony Nese, he literally blows out, I think, his arm after literally bashing his forearm into a chair held by Dar. Following this, we get another unique spot from the submission guy himself, Noam Dar, a Fujiwara armbar with the use of a chair. I thought this was kind of unique in a way that he was wrenching the arm, not only to Tony Nese's own body, but on the chair itself. This looked brutal to me. And of course, there's no rope breaks in a no DQ match. But he eventually gets out of the ring and somehow gets a roll through cover. Still not enough. Dar goes shoulder first to the steps. After a while, moving forward, Nese, he goes face first to the steps. Again, chairs, steel steps, those were the things that came into play. You think Dar's down? No, he gives him another arm bar. And then, of course, he receives an open palm strike from Tony Nese after going up to the apron, and then gets slammed onto the steps, spine first. Figures out, no, all of a sudden just goes back for that armbar. Now, this reminded me of that spot back at WrestleMania 28 where Undertaker used to go for Hell's Gate on Triple H, and Triple H couldn't break out of it at the previous Mania, where he broke out from here with the help of the steps. I feel like the steps here were a callback to that because they helped Tony Nese break up that armbar into, well, you wanted a table to break, you got one. He's power slams Noam Dar straight for the announce table.
Oh, yeah. And that's when the holy shit chant began.
Yeah. And I think also this is awesome. It was probably one of the most proactive times that crowd was. Can't say I don't blame him. Following this, he makes his dead weight, throws Dar into the ring into a cover, still not enough. And then we get the running Nese, that they call it. Yeah. The running Nese strike into Dar, not quite, into the rope.
That was amazing.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad he did the ropes versus the turnbuckle. I feel like the ropes probably was not as painful because it probably just bounced him back. Because even though you've got padding on the turnbuckle, you still have to still ring up there. But anyway, following this, Dar capitalizes with a very unique move. He puts a double stomp on the left knee of Tony Nese. Once again, working on that leg, and then goes for a vicious ankle lock. But again, is Nese going to tap? No rope breaks. Nese just struggling. He gets to the end of the ring, no rope break, but he gets a chair. Once again, folks, chair comes into play, and he basically hits, this time, Noam Dar. First, of course, in the midsection, then side of the face. Then finally, Nese with the chair. He's outside the ring. Dar goes out to him. But then, turnabout's fair play. Nese hits Noam Dar to the knee with the steel chair. And Dar is just wrenching in agony. And basically, after that, he puts a typical spot, you know, when you use a chair on a leg. Eventually, you're going to do this, I think. Typical wrestler mentality. He puts his leg into the chair and stomps on it. Keyword stomp. I feel like he felt like the edge of it. Probably missed it, if you go back and look at it. But anyway, this finally led us close to the finisher as Noam Dar couldn't stand up. He was just crawling towards the barricade. Tony Nese doing his yell, "Oh!" saying, like, I'm the dominant one, I'm going to win here. Well, you certainly did after this, the spot of the night for everybody.
Yes.
The running Nese all the way from the barricade straight into Noam Dar for the timekeep area. Both men down. And then that was your This Is Awesome chant.
And holy shit.
I think one section we've been chanting 205, and I appreciate that. Thank you, Paul, by the way, if you were leading that. Anyway, dead weight. He's still showing that his leg's screwed up. Just barely able to add pressure to his left leg, but finally rolls Noam Dar in after such a long time. Even after the commentary said, "That's it, it's over." I thought, I think it's taking too long. I think we're not done. But then again, I'm like, where else can you go from here? I mean, I would have been shocked if Dar kicked out. He did not. Game over. Tony Nese wins. What an incredible match. One of the better one-on-one encounters I've seen in a long time. I think my last one, if I were to put this up with something, would probably be Mustafa Ali versus Buddy Murphy in that no DQ match. How the stairs came into play and he did like the jumping superplex off the steel steps. But yeah, I absolutely loved this match. Sydney, what are your thoughts on this match?
I could have agreed with you. I feel that this match is definitely what we wanted to see from 205 Live, and this is it. This is by far the best match we see in quite a while. Hell, the last time we had a really good match for 205 Live would actually be the Tornado Tag Team match between the Lucha House Party versus TJP and Mike Kanellis.
Yes, nice callback. Also no DQ as well. So many pinatas.
Oh, yeah, I know, right? It's so comedic, to say at least. But great storytelling, great usage of, like, you know, it's tables, chairs, steel steps. I mean, I wish they would bring the ladders to make it like a kind of like a TLC, but oh well. It was so freaking amazing. Like, both guys, they knock it right out of the park. And I did give so much respect more for Noam Dar because he come a long way since his debut, like in the Cruiserweight Classic to where he's at now. Now I can understand why He's part of the NXT UK, and also like in 205 Live, like his in-ring ability as a grappler and also as a collegiate wrestler, top-notch quality. And with Tony Nese, you know that he is trying to rise it up to the top, even though he is quote-unquote Buddy Murphy's trainer, to say at least. But it was by far amazing. Like, I couldn't even, keep my mouth shut when I tell everybody, hey, check out this match. Even though if you don't give a crap about 205 Live and don't care or don't give an F word about 205 Live, guys, you're missing out. This is the match you need to watch. And this proved why hashtag 205 Live does matter. To say.
Well said.
Yes. Great storytelling. The ending, beautiful. Especially after Tony Nese did his running knee strike through the barricade. That was it for that. And hell, it's a perfect way to end and like a perfect setup to a possible title match, which we're going to get into later. So, yeah.
Right. Yeah, I absolutely love this main event, and I agree with you on all fronts. They even bring up the point how basically selling the leg injury that Noam Dar might have suffered here in conjunction with the other leg injury he suffered a while back, that took him out of action for months. So good on commentary tonight as well.
Yeah.
And again, I was there live. Afterwards, Noam Dar, he got a standing ovation. So kudos to both men. I'm looking forward to see what's in store for both men. We already know what's in store for one of them, thank you NXT UK, which I'm sure Stefan and Jerry will talk about on the NXT UK party in the weeks to come. But we'll get to that later. Yep. So following this is where it actually ended for me at the live event, because they didn't play nothing else in the Titantron. They told Toledo, thank you for watching and good night. So basically, I got to see the standing ovation and the closing out for Noam Dar, walking out under his own power with the refs' help a little bit. But I went back and watched the replay on the network because I did not see a contract signing yet, nor did I see an exclusive yet for the contract signing. The network showed that. So literally we go back into Drake Maverick. By the way, folks, you all watch TNA, you know he's Rockstar Spud. Anyway, we go back into Drake Maverick's office. He's basically with both men for the Cruiserweight Championship contract signing for the match this Sunday at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, which I'm so excited about. But I digress. Anyway, he basically talked about how Buddy has been on a tirade for the last 4 months since he's won the title at Super Showdown. But he also brings up the point that Akira Tozawa, there's no denying his win-loss record, especially under the guidance and help, allegedly, with the Brian Kendrick. On this, Akira, he signs right away, and this is also their first ever one-on-one encounter, folks. Buddy, though, he's pompous, he's cocky. He says, here, take my phone. Take a selfie. It's the closest you'll ever be to the title. Because you had your chance at the Royal Rumble. I was with the best striker, high flyer, and you. And you couldn't even get the job done. Competition is my history. You're not my competition. 205 Live's not my competition. Competition is my history as I continue on my road to WrestleMania to become the greatest cruiserweight of all time. And then Akira, a man of few words, but quite a rebuttal. Hashtag mic drop. He basically said, there was once a king of the cruiserweights, and I beat him, and I took his title. See you Sunday. Gone. Done. Show's over. Well, I don't think much else needs to be said about what Akira Tozawa said. Evidence be evidence. Go back in the WWE Network. Truth be told, it was the shortest title reign in 205 Live history. But still, it was a one-on-one encounter. He did pull it off. Cindy, your thoughts on this contract signing segment?
Well, I'm glad it's just a backstage segment because, you know me, I hate in-ring contract signing because they're making it over the top, making it a huge deal, and yeah, it's going to be the same old crap we've been seeing for quite some time. Hence the main roster, like Raw and SmackDown. So, yeah. Anyway, I feel like the contract signing is really great. I'm loving Buddy Murphy's promo. Spot on perfect. Akira Tozawa saying in that rebuttal, I was like, oh my god, the WWE is the one that's trying to diss, let's just call him in his current indie name, Pac.
Yes.
Like, oh my god, is it like kind of like a little bit of a shot since Pac is currently in AEW? Which, yes, I'm gonna have to say it because you know why? Hashtag give AEW a chance, y'all.
AEW matters, simple as that. And folks, spoiler alert, I will be reviewing that show. Cindy, I would love for you to join me.
Of course I will. You know me, I love my independent wrestling. But
That's independent wrestling.
yes.
We just do a show on but anyway, we're getting off topic.
Yes.
Yeah, what a callback to Neville, aka the current Pac. I was like,
I agree. Like, I sent you that message on the No DQ group chat. It's like, Noah, didn't Tozawa just diss Neville / Pac? And then,
yes, I could not wait to respond to you and say, yes, of course I was at work. But yes, he did.
Yeah, that was like a holy crap movie, even though some of our other team No DQ don't give a crap about 205 Live, except for, of course, Jeff Meacham, of course.
Good old JM.
Yes. And like our NXT team, well, some of them do more. Yep. But yeah, it's a perfect way to end. But however, regarding with Tozawa, him smiling at the end kind of threw me off a little bit because I know for a fact that the reason why he won the title on Raw, held it for six days before losing it at the kickoff pre-show at SummerSlam against Neville / Pac. Because the whole situation with the whole Titus Worldwide, because he was aligning with Titus O'Neil, of course. And for that, because of Titus O'Neil's like being the manager role for Titus, the short-lived Titus Worldwide, where it's just Tozawa, Apollo Crews, and Dana Brooke. Like, okay, whatever. But yeah, with Tozawa, he did beat him on his own, even though he had like a little bit of a help from Titus, but oh well. But it would be interesting to see like how he's gonna turn out for the title match. But yeah, but I'm just gonna say this right now, Noah. And I did state it. I don't know if the video is gonna be up or not by the time of the recording of the video, but I did pick Buddy Murphy to retain the title, whether or not it is in the main card. And please, Lord, hopefully it better not be in a kickoff pre-show match, but yeah. But I'm going to get into my thoughts about why she's Buddy Murphy after what you got to say, Noah.
Well, first off, Titus Worldwide, dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that short-lived reign too. Ah, jeez. Yeah, I mean, line of the night. Simple as that. I'm looking forward to the match on Sunday. It does not belong on the...
Yes!
Yes, I said it. Sue me. Kickoff show. But I digress.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm looking forward to it, but I'm just going to keep it simple and say this. You're absolutely right. I do agree with you, and I will say this in my predictions too. Stay tuned, folks. I'll be doing the Radar Rundown with Stefan, the Wizard of No DQ, and the General Jerry Slaughter.
Woo!
But anyway, yeah, I feel like Buddy Murphy has to retain here because if you're going to have a big moment, you're going to do it at WrestleMania. Now, as far as who gets into that, I was going through the current roster because I can't imagine them bringing somebody new in the 205 Live towards the road to WrestleMania. You're going to build somebody else within the roster itself. I don't see Ari Daivari going after it. Pretty not sure it's not going to be Cedric Alexander again.
God, no.
Okay, according to No DQ, he's getting tired of WWE. Gee, I wonder what that could mean. Anyway, Drew Gulak, he is one of my favorites. He is a key candidate, I feel like, that should be Cruiserweight champ. But again, it's heel versus face dynamic. You're going to have a heel versus a face for the title. Drew Gulak, he's technically heelish, so it's not going to work out. So just skipping forward, I'm looking at faces here. I don't see another member of the Lucha House Party going after it.
No.
I feel like the only viable person right now is two people on the roster, because I don't know if they're going to do it with the veteran Brian Kendrick. It's got to be either Humberto Carrillo after his debut match with the champ, or Tony Nese with this win. Maybe they find more of us and he turns face, and he finally goes after the champ.
Yes. I was thinking the same thing too. Like, once the whole Buddy versus Tozawa getting out of the way after Chambers, I would love to see Tony Nese's face turn. But with that being said, I don't know when it's gonna happen because like I've been vouching it for a while. When we're gonna have Tony Nese turn face, all it matters. But it would be perfect for him to be the one that'll be the next contender. But I don't know. But however, I do see like the next contender would be someone because the next pay-per-view after Chambers will be Fastlane, and of course it's gonna be another filler pay-per-view. I think the next contender, and I hate to say it, it's gonna be Noam Dar. If he's gonna be medically cleared after that amazing NoDQ.com match against Tony Nese, why not him challenging Buddy Murphy for all it matters? I honestly don't see Roberto Carrillo being the number one contender because he just recently arrived to 205 Live from NXT. Just give him some time to build because he's still too fresh, too new. And some of the people don't know who is Alberto Carrillo is. Like, come on. Correct. I don't even know who he is. All I know is that he was on NXT, just doing NXT house shows, and that's it. And then when he debuted on 205 Live, he was on NXT TV at the same time, too. So,
right.
I think, like, it's too soon to have Alberto Carrillo to have, like, a title shot. Now, one more person I could think of, and yeah, I did kind of have, like, a little bit of an argument with a buddy of mine, but I would say Brian Kendrick, because not only he brought back his mid-2000s, his old gimmick, and also, like, he's having an incredible, like, win-loss record as a babyface. I feel it's time for Brian Kendrick to be the next contender for Buddy Murphy, because even though he's a babyface, but he's the only veteran in the Cruiserweight division that I feel that will bring more of a notoriety. And everybody knows who the Brian Kendrick is, besides him being a tag team champion with Paul London and all that good stuff for all it matters. So, right. Brian Kendrick versus Buddy Murphy, veterans versus the current modern day era of the Cruiserweight division. So, why not? Generation versus generation match. And I would like to see.
I like that idea a lot because, again, he wants to cement his legacy. Mm-hmm. Why not cement your legacy against the veteran? It'll be interesting to see how that plays in the dynamic between the partnership between Akira Tozawa and D. Brian Kendrick.
Exactly.
And I could definitely see that possibly even being a storyline built out of this Sunday, because I have to imagine D. Brian Kendrick is going to be in Akira Tozawa's corner. Mm-hmm. So whether or not he comes into play or Buddy use that to his advantage to cost Akira the match or keep the title, it's hard to say. I also agree with you on Fastlane as well, because I'll be going to see Fastlane live representing No DQ. So, yeah, I could definitely see probably Noam Dar, if he is cleared, based on his stuff, what he does between the NXT UK brand stuff, because he works between both. I could definitely see him going after the title one-on-one. Either way, I feel like the Sunday is going to be a good match, but unfortunately, I do feel like you, the outcome's going to be predictable, because again, it's filler.
Exactly. The question is, would you like to see Buddy Murphy versus the Brian Kendrick at WrestleMania?
If they're not going to bring anyone else under the 205 Live banner, and I highly doubt they will, and I hope this is wrong, but No DQ is saying the next direction for Finn Balor is 205 Live, and he's not ever WrestleMania, Lord help us, then yes, God, no. I would think that you would go with the veteran at this point, because WrestleMania, you want to bring in that mainstream appeal. Mm-hmm. D. Brian Kendrick is the most well-known name you have on the 205 Live roster. I think both of them could deliver a great match. I can see that being in the middle of the show, not kickoff. But yes, I agree. I feel like D. Brian Kendrick would be right now your most viable, bookable match for the Cruiserweight title at WrestleMania. But again, we'll see, because right now, the rest of WrestleMania 35 is completely up in the air.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I wonder if anyone will ever beat the longest reigning Cruiserweight title reign, which, as you know, was Gregory Helms, 385 days.
That's right.
Buddy Murphy, he just hit, 130. He's got a long way to go. He hasn't even beat Neville. Yes, I said it. He hasn't even beat Neville, who was a total 197, close to 200. Mm-hmm. But again, the Cruiserweight title, it's more valued versus some mid-card main roster titles.
I see. United States.
You said it, not me. But anyway, yeah, I completely agree on that. So yeah, I thought this week's episode was once again great. I found it interesting that we didn't have no Lio Rush. We had no TJP. There was no Cedric Alexander. But I'm sure they'll come into play in the weeks to come.
Well, Lio Rush is getting ready for that handicap match with
True.
Bob the Lash at Chambers against...
Why is this a match? Oh, okay, I'm venting, but it's too soon for that.
Exactly.
But yeah. And I could see, like I said, I could see at least next week Humberto Carrillo, Drew Gulak, Jack Gallagher. I could see that storyline building.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily see the next step in the Cruiserweight title picture building. I can see Ari Daivari squashing a jobber.
Yep.
And then we'll go from there. But yeah, I thought this week's episode was great. You know what? What the hell? I'll give it out of 5 stars. Because I love the main event. I felt like the opening was a little slow. We got a lot of build of the other time within the roster in the coming weeks. The show was probably 4.5 for me out of 5. Cindy, what about you, if you were to rate it?
I'm going to agree with you on that 4.5 out of 5 because I feel this main event match knocked it out of the park. The contract signing, holy crap, amazing. With a lot of this thing going on. And the opening of the match is kind of like more of like a warm-up too. But it's by far outstanding because of the commentary per se. So yeah, 4.5 out of 5.
Drew Gulak, for a better 205 Live. I got to get that shirt too.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, that was a good chat. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching this edition of 205 Live Matters. Watch it, love it, share it, tell a friend. Join us if you want to talk about 205 Live. Just look me up. You can find me at nodq.com/Noah. That takes you to my Twitter. And I would love to talk with you, Cindy Moore, or anybody for that matter, about anything Cruiserweight Wrestling or 205 Live, because 205 Live matters. And I'm just going to keep it simple with my plug. Cindy, where can people find you and what can you plug for us tonight?
All right. Follow me at nodq.com/Cindy. That's going to take you directly to my Twitter page. Also, make sure to follow me at simply_C_OK on Instagram, where I post landscape and wrestling photo arts, like cool editings and all that. And my Instagram story of my drink pics, like my Starbucks drink, my Cold Buster tea. So, yeah. And also make sure to follow my personal YouTube channel at simply_C_OK. And please be patient about my YouTube channel. I know it's MIA, but hey, I'm trying to figure things out. And on my second YouTube channel at Tyson Poppy Production, where myself, Brian Exejo, and Tyler Coles, we do hype videos for independent wrestling promotion just to hype up the event as well, like a week or two out beforehand. So yeah, and do not forget, make sure to go to nodq.com/shirts. That's going to take you directly to the Pro Wrestling T-shirt store, well, T-store, whatever you can call it.
T-shirt. NoDQ.com/search to get a T-shirts. Continue.
That's right. Like the No DQ patriotic T-shirt that Noah has in the background. Also, everybody has a T-shirt, like Jeff Meacham. Now, see, here's the thing. To my T-shirt, the Ladies of NoDQ.com T-shirts, and the NoDQ.com T-shirt Galaxy, and everything else. And also, Noah's wearing Greg Cherry's own Pro Wrestling T-store, so make sure to find PA Sensation Greg Cherry, and he has some lovely T-shirts as well, which I have the T-shirt, by the way. And yeah, and do not forget, make sure to go to Spotify, #TeamNoDQ on the search, so that way you guys can listen to all of our favorite songs in one playlist from Team No DQ, y'all. A lot of musical genre and all that. So, yeah.
Excellent. Well, Cindy, once again, thank you so much for joining me for talking about 205 Live, and 205 Live matters to both of us. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just a simple man and a lifelong fan of wrestling. And until next time, stay tuned for the next installment of 205 Live Matters, where we'll be talking about the fallout to the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view match and the upcoming future of the 205 Live brand. And with that, have a good night.
Cheers, y'all.